So welcome back. Last week we were looking very much at neurological or biological accounts of mental health issues. And while it's fair to say that neurologists understand that the brain responds to life events, you'll remember John Quinn talking about how the brain is shaped by the events that happen to us. It is true to say that neurobiological accounts, such as those of Eric Kandel, very much stress how differences between people in terms of their biological functioning affect their mental health. Not all psychologists or psychiatrists see it that way at all. And many psychologists and psychiatrists believe that it's by looking at the nurture side of the equation, by looking at the differences between people in terms of the things that happen to them, that we can start to explain mental health issues.
In terms of whether genetics or the environment are primarily the causes of mental health problems later, it's undoubtedly, just from the sheer weight of evidence, it's undoubtedly the psychosocial events which is the more powerful predictor.
So clearly there are some quite different views amongst very well-respected professionals and academics about what are the major causes of mental health problems. Some people see this as a dispute between psychology and psychiatry, or even between psychologists and psychiatrists, but I think it's a little bit more complicated than that. Last week I introduced you to the manifesto for biological psychiatry proposed by Nick Craddock and colleagues. In the very same journal, in the same editorial slot as the one used by Nick Craddock, another psychiatrist, Pat Bracken, and many of his colleagues also proposed a manifesto or a viewpoint for the future of psychiatry, but one that was very different from Nick Craddock's and very different from Eric Kandel's. Pat Bracken and his colleagues suggested that we need to focus on those social and environmental factors that John Reed has just mentioned too. And I think it's worth, as well as reading Nick Craddock's manifesto, reading the complementary piece by Pat Bracken, and a link to that's on the Future Learn website.